You know, I remember not so long ago I used to listen to like the fat shamers, you know, the fat shamers, and they used to come up with really good fucking arguments, you know what I mean? I used to think, yeah, a bit of fucking tough love, you know, people need it like to change, give them a push, you know what I mean? People need to be pushed. But now I'm of the mind of like these guys are just like fucking bullies in disguise. You know, they come up with like elaborate ways to craft like fucking, you know, arguments to justify their bullying. Because you do realize that like every fucking overweight person, like a high percentage of them overweight people, and we say obese people, have tried dieting before. Like they've tried exercising before. But you see where they get it wrong is that they get motivated. And there's a difference between motivation and discipline. You know, motivation is finite, like, you know what I mean? You wake up and they head for fucking leather when they start training. They slash their calories, they go straight for cardio. And that's the wrong thing to do as well, to go for cardio. You know, cardio is only a small part of your transformation. I mean, it makes up only a small part, because like they do hours of fucking cardio, but you gotta realize that like you could do like an hour of cardio and negate it by eating just one fucking donut. So the first thing you're supposed to do is sort your fucking diet and do strength training. Go in and do strength training, and that would benefit you better. That makes up the bulk of your transformation. So if I was to, like, I'm not a PT, but if I was, like, I'd get people to do things in steps, you know what I mean? Because discipline needs to be built. You know, you don't wake up with discipline. So I'd get them to do it in steps. I'd have them doing like resistance training, but like maybe one or two exercises, compound lifts preferably, you know, like a multi-joint, you know, muscle group, more return on their investment, you know. So I'd have them doing a couple of them. I'd have them doing like 5 minutes on an incline fucking treadmill. That's much easier to handle, because when you're going to the gym and you think to yourself, right, I'm only doing one or two exercises, right, I'm only doing 5 minutes on the treadmill. Over time, you know, those exercises start to broaden. That 5 minutes on the treadmill, you know, will turn into 10 minutes, turn into 15 minutes. Like I've only recently started doing cardio now myself, you know, and I was doing 10 minutes. I'm up to 15 now. I do a couple of laps around the lock as well. You know, that's like 2 miles, you know. So that's me building, you know, discipline. And you know, not every like overweight person you see is a fucking glutton, because they've tried these things before, crashed the metabolism, tried it again, crashed the metabolism, even worse. And I leave you with this: when I started this cut, I was 232 pounds. Believe it or not, I was maintaining that weight onto about 2,000 calories. My carbohydrates were 2 potatoes and a cup of fucking oats. You know what I mean? And the rest was protein, like cottage cheese, eggs, meats, stuff like that, you know. But I was maintaining that body weight, you know, with that kind of food, you know. So, you know, it ain't all fucking black and white. You can't bully, you know, somebody into fucking change. And I think like a response to that kind of bullying was that fat acceptance movement, you know. If you attack people, then, you know, they're going to attack back, you know. And I believe that's what caused the fat acceptance fucking movement. And, you know, which isn't a good thing at all, you know. People need to be given the tools, you know what I mean, and build discipline for this, you know, over time. And you got to do that in increments, in small steps, you know. So, but yeah, I like, I'm on the high teens now, like body fat percentage wise, you know. I'm surprised that I'm able to see my abs, because I don't really work them that hard, you know. But I get out of bed now like the fucking Undertaker, you know what I mean, like that, Grim's up, you know. Not to be facetious, you know what I mean, but there was a time, a period in my life where I was fucking struggling to put on my socks after coming out of the shower, like. So not a lot of influence can say that, like. And most influencers, like, they team up, collaborate, conspire, and come up with new fancy ways to take your fucking money from you, you know what I mean, which is antithetical to what I represent, you know. So someday I'm going to put a plan together that is for people that don't, you know, want this to take over their lives, you know what I mean, a plan, like a diet plan, all that kind of stuff. A scalable one too, if you want to take things forward, but, you know, something that will help people, you know, get results that they want, to make real changes to their body, you know.